and welcome back. We are officially 3 days away from my baby's due date, which feels incredible. I actually cannot believe how fast this journey has went. I'm getting so excited to meet her. Also, if you know, I'm at that stage in pregnancy where I'm just ready to get her out. I am so overwhelmed and done with being pregnant. I'm ready. I thought with me being almost done my pregnancy, I would film a little third trimester video just to let you know how I felt during my third trimester, any changes that I had experienced, and just overall how my pregnancy has been. I'm gonna start with the symptoms that I have felt during my third trimester. Right at the beginning, when I first entered my third trimester, I was still feeling nauseous, which was really fun. But I'm really grateful that didn't last through my whole pregnancy, because luckily that has gone now. I have no more sickness. We are sickness free. There's other things that make up for it though, I can guarantee that, but I am glad that I've not had sickness throughout my pregnancy. The next thing is I definitely feel a lot warmer in myself, which is a good thing because we are entering the colder months now. It is pretty much winter here, so my body being a little bit warmer has actually been quite nice. And I know it'll all go away when she's born because I'll probably be freezing again, so I've actually been enjoying being a little bit warmer. The next thing is my first trimester tiredness has returned. I am so unbelievably tired all the time. I feel like because my baby's a lot bigger now, there is a lot more demand going on inside my body. My body feels like it's doing a lot more. So just doing a regular day for me just feels like it's 10 times more intense. Some days I'm absolutely fine. Some days I have a little bit of a struggle, but overall I can just feel the demand inside my body that this little girl's put me under, because I think even she's ready to come out, but she's just not here yet. But yeah, the tiredness has definitely returned. The next thing I've felt is really strange for me, because if you didn't know, before I was pregnant I was very athletic. I'm a dancer, so I'm quite fit and healthy, never really had any issues. And now I'm out of breath all the time. Even just having a conversation, I lose my breath. Walking up and down the stairs is such a task because I just lose my breath all the time. And I just think because my lungs have got very limited space for air, it can feel a little bit intense sometimes, which is really fun. It's just part of the joys of being pregnant. But now, because we're getting closer to the delivery, she's dropped a lot more, so I've got slightly more room in my lungs to actually breathe. So that's been a little bit nicer on me, but obviously because she's dropped down, there's a lot more pressure pushing down compared to pushing up, so it's just sort of counteract each other really. New things that I've had in my third trimester has been back pain and hip pain. My right hip is in a lot of pain. I did actually Google it, and it said if you were hypermobile before pregnancy, that can cause a lot of hip pain. And obviously, like I just said, I was a dancer before I was pregnant, so that hip was very flexible. And I think the pressure pushing down on that flexible hip has caused quite a bit of pain, I'm not gonna lie. Walking around sometimes gets really painful, and it feels muscular. It's like all around my hip, like it's from the top of my hip all the way around. So that's been a little bit painful. Obviously I know these are like last minute ones, so they don't really last that long, so that's actually been not too bad, because I know that they're probably gonna go away once she's born, which is hopefully soon, because I'm so ready for it. I can't even explain how ready I am to just go into labour now. Like I'm ready. The next thing is probably the worst symptom that I've experienced during my third trimester. I have absolutely hated it, and I never ever have an issue with pregnancy symptoms. I am very like, it is what it is, like we're riding the wave, whatever. But this symptom has just caused a massive pain in my life, and that is acid reflux. Oh, if you know, you know. Sort of worn off a little bit now, but there was some nights where I just couldn't sleep because it was just burning all the way up my throat. It was horrendous. It was awful. That was the worst thing that I think even actually that and my nausea is sort of on par. They were like the worst two things that I've experienced during my pregnancy. I think it doesn't even come down to like how bad they were. For me, it comes down to how much it was happening and how like uncomfortable it felt. That's sort of where it was getting frustrating, because it was every single night and it was a lot. And oh, very grateful that that doesn't happen as often now. The next thing I think is pretty much a given. I think every pregnant woman goes through this, but that is not being able to sleep. I can't get comfortable. It doesn't matter whether I lie on either side or my back, I'm not comfortable at all. It's actually really uncomfortable, and I'm just sort of a bit over it now. Like, I don't mind having an hour's sleep and a baby waking me up every other hour. I do not mind that at all. But to just have a nice hour's sleep, I feel like would be much better than what I'm having right now. The next one is my hormones are all over the place. I've become a lot more emotional. Actually, before I filmed this video, I just started crying because I looked in the mirror. Here's me filming shorts about loving your body after pregnancy, and I just looked at my body and I just started crying my eyes out. It's really, really upset us. It's really upset us. And I know one thing that frustrates me is people who say, well, what did you expect when you were pregnant? Like, I expected my body to change, but it doesn't mean that it isn't hard. Like, it doesn't mean that it's a lot to get used to. So just let us have it. Like, I need to just have a minute to just get used to my new body after she's born. But I looked in the mirror before and I wasn't happy with what I saw, and it's just made me feel a little bit insecure about myself. And especially, I was working as a model before this, and I just feel like oh, I don't know. I just feel very insecure. I feel very alienated in my own body right now, and it's a lot. But also, I think my feeling overwhelmed feeling isn't just pregnancy. I think because there's a lot happened during my pregnancy. There's a lot been happening in my personal life, which I don't really want to talk about online just for respect of the little one. But there's a lot been happening there, trying to find a house. I had a view for a house that I've really, really liked, and I got it in my head that I just wanted it really, really bad, and sort of like fixating on it where it's like stressing me out because I just want it. And it's just been a bit overwhelming. I think that's probably, if I had to pick one feeling right now of how I feel, it would just be overwhelmed. Like, I just want this baby out. I want to be in my own house. I want to be settled, and I don't feel settled at all. I think it's definitely like a parent thing. Like, I'm overthinking, feeling like I've already failed as a mum, and I've not even started being a mum yet, which makes me feel a little bit emotional. Don't want to get upset, but I just feel like your mum's supposed to know the answers, and I don't know the answers, and I don't know when I'm gonna feel settled, and I just feel like I don't know. Everything seems very up in the air right now, and I just want to be the best mum I can, and I just feel a bit, my head's just a bit all over the place, to be completely honest. I want to be as transparent as possible. Obviously, I know everyone's situation's different. People are in a lot worse situations than the situation that I'm in, but just think, when you are pregnant, it's so important to validate your own feelings. There's nothing wrong with feeling overwhelmed and getting a bit upset about it. If you need to have a cry, have a cry. I think after I finish filming this video, I'm probably gonna have a cry myself. But I think this all goes back to what I always say, and to take it day by day. We don't know where we're going to be in a year from now, or 2 years, or 3 months from now. We don't know, so we're just going to take it day by day and see what happens. The next symptom is I've had like a bruised feeling in my hips and in my ribs off where the baby kicks. So at the minute she's head down, and then her bum is to the right, and then her limbs are like on my left, so my left rib really feels those kicks. And sometimes they actually feel like she's bruised me. And in my hips, I don't know what it is in my hip, but there's sometimes she gets really close to my hip, and that feels really uncomfortable. And because she's getting a lot bigger now, the size of her pushing against my bones is actually quite painful. Like, it's so cute when they first start moving and you're like, oh my god, I love this, like don't ever stop moving. But sometimes I'm like, oh my god, can I please just have a minute? Like, I'm in so much pain right now. And then we can wriggle after, that's fine. But mum just needs a second, if that's okay. The next symptom I have had only lasted a few days, weirdly for me, but that was restless leg syndrome. This is, I can't even describe it. The only way I can describe it is when I was in bed, I felt like my legs needed to run. Like, I just felt like I couldn't keep them still. I just felt like I needed to run. And that happened a few times. And because I was trying to sleep, the more still I was, the more uncomfortable my legs felt, and they felt heavy. It was just a weird one for me, but that only lasted a few days for me, which I'm glad about. The next one is sort of a given. I need to pee a lot more. I get up at least 2 times in the night, maybe even 3 for a pee. And the pressure of our pushing down, so when I wake up needing to pee, that pressure actually makes it painful, like my stomach hurts until I've had a wee. But I think that's just a given. That happens throughout. I think the overall moral of my 3rd trimester is I'm ready to give birth now. I have a few questions that have been asked, so I thought I would just answer them as well. One of the first questions I was asked was, am I nervous about giving birth? And the answer is yes, I have started to get very nervous. I am letting everything be how it is. I'm not going in with a big plan because obviously we do not know how the delivery is going to go, so I don't want to go in with a big plan in my head and then for it to not go how I've planned it. I am going in open-minded, but I am still very nervous. The next question is, am I going to miss being pregnant? And the answer is 100% yes. I don't think I'm going to miss my 3rd trimester or my 1st trimester, I'm not going to lie. But my 2nd trimester, when I feel like your 2nd trimester is such a sweet spot, like your energy comes back. I felt her moving all the time, I felt her kicking, but they were comfortable because she was still small enough where she was still so tiny that they didn't really hurt that much. I think that part of pregnancy I'm really, really gonna miss. I'm also gonna miss just having her inside us and having that close bond with her, because I find that to be really, really, really special. But yeah, I definitely will miss being pregnant once I've had her. But I think I'll be so caught up because she's gonna be here, so I'll sort of be like, I miss this feeling, but also I've got these new feelings, so who knows? What is the best part and the worst part about being pregnant? The best thing is definitely feeling them move. I could, like, oh, it's just the best feeling ever. I can't even describe it either. It feels so special because it's only you two that can feel it, and it is really, really nice. The worst thing for me, I think, has been worrying. I worried about all the symptoms. I worried constantly whether she was okay. If I could go back in time and redo my pregnancy, I would try and get myself to stop worrying as much because I've just been so worried all the time. I feel like I've actually had quite a pleasant pregnancy, so I just wish I didn't worry as much. But I'm a first-time mum, and I think that's all sort of comes with it. We're gonna feel nervous. I've never felt these feelings before, so it's all very new and it is quite scary. But I think the worrying side of it has been the hardest. I think overall my pregnancy has actually been great. I feel like I've been blessed with a nice pregnancy. I'm excited to get a house, and I'm excited to settle in with her and meet her and navigate that chapter of my life. I'm ready for this chapter to be over, I'm not gonna lie. I just want to meet her now, and I want to settle my body back down into its own self, into its new self I should say, because obviously we know a lot's gonna change. But yeah, that pretty much sums up my 3rd trimester. It's so scary doing this because I might never have a 3rd trimester again. Like, I almost don't want to end the video because I don't want to admit that I'm pretty much done. The next video could potentially be a meet my baby girl video, which is really scary. If she's not here by her due date, which is Friday, I'm in for a sweep on Monday, sorry. I'm in for a sweep on Monday, and if she doesn't come the 3rd or the 4th, I'm in again on the 5th for an induction, and she'll definitely be here on or before the 6th of December. but I hope she comes before then because I'm so ready. I'm so ready. If you're listening, I'm so ready. Yeah, that was pretty much my third trimester. If you are pregnant, let me know how you're getting on. Let me know how you're finding things. Remember to take it day by day. Don't worry, you've got this. Everything is going to be fine. We've got this. We're just navigating a new chapter of our lives. So don't get too caught up in anything. I think I need to take my own advice. And with that being said, if you did enjoy the video, please remember to give a little like, comment, maybe a subscribe. And I will see you next week, maybe with a baby.